मैं गांव से दिल्ली क्यों आया था या मुंबई में एक्टर बनने का सपना इतना डिफिकल्ट ड्रीम मैंने क्यों देखा था. आई हैव दैट रीजन दैट आई फेल इन लव विद दिस.
पीपल विल आस्क, अरे हमारे धर्म का गुरु क्यों लिया, वो धर्म का क्यों नहीं लिया. दिस इज अ क्वेश्चन दैट विल बी आस्क्ड. हाउ डिड यू सी एट द स्टार्ट?
Personally for me, the film is about the strength of that little girl. One thing that I wanted to put into this is that I didn't want to spare parents, and this is where they have written that scene where I am. Hi, I'm Manoj Bajpayee, and you are watching this interview on Bollywood Hungama.
Coming to the subject of this film, as it, growing up years, did you, your family ever believe in a God, man? Did you all ever, everybody goes through this in their life at some point. Did you ever follow any God, man?
I was born and brought up in a family which believed in God. I also believe in God. I am a believer completely. But I refrain from, talking about it all the time. Because my belief is my belief, and I keep it to myself. Because so whatever is happening inside or here, As for Guru, I have we fortunately we found a Guru who've been showing us the spiritual path of life, and we gained a lot. It's always up to the people, who they follow, who they believe in, But when you are a God man, you have loads of responsibility on your shoulder, because there are people looking up to you, listening to you, listening to you, following you. So each and every word that you say is going to be taken very seriously. But I know with power comes the corruption. True. So sometimes we though I'm a God man, but I start thinking that I'm God. This is where the fault lies. So this is based on a subject we all have been watching in the news. We all have followed it. It is a story of our generation. You met the lawyer. You spent time with him. Tell me, what did he say that keeps him going without taking fees? Right motive, right intention. What keeps these people going? Initially I didn't want to meet him at all. Okay. So because he was not somebody that people were aware of. So for me, I had the freedom and liberty to really create this person, and go after having gone through all the materials that was given to me, or which I have researched upon. I somehow found few points about him, which I kind of inculcated in my own characterization. And 2-3 days before the shoot in Jodhpur, I met him. And then, I kept on observing him, talking to him, trying to find out what was that one thing, for which he took up this difficult case, where he was risking his career, and he was risking his life. In all of this, one thing I have realized, that he's a good man.
At the end of the day, that's
at the end of the day, he couldn't answer in words. He couldn't answer my queries.
आप क्यों कर रहे हैं?
क्यों किया आपने? क्यों किया? जैसे मैं बता सकता हूँ कि मैं गांव से दिल्ली क्यों आया था या मुंबई में एक्टर बनने का सपना इतना डिफिकल्ट ड्रीम मैंने क्यों देखा था. I have that reason that I fell in love with this, the whole spectacle of cinema. I just fell in love with those images. I fell in love with the auditorium going dark and suddenly lives coming alive on screen. But he didn't have an answer, concrete answer. Then I realized that basically this man got a chance to do something right.
That's true.
And only for that he's taken up the case. Even in our film, he's there was no point or reason I kept it in my mind when I'm doing the scene. I just inquire, and I say I take it up, and I will not take any money. One thing that I wanted to put into this is that I didn't want to spare parents, and this is where they have written that scene where I am actually grinding the father. That for his own belief, he has put his daughter in danger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
So when these things happen, that's a very personal thing.
Sure. Yeah.
Now my personal anger always is with the parents.
With the parents, right?
Yeah.
You know, you said initially you could have made this character your own completely. You said you didn't want to meet him. What changed there that you said, "Chalo, let's meet this guy. What is he like?"
Yeah, no, but I was anyway going to meet him in
Okay.
Jodhpur. But when he came, everyone was quite nervous and scared that he should not spend so much time that it will hamper his preparation. But they could see that I was already in the character. My preparation was there. I was completely raring to go on the set. But I only listened to him. I was looking at him, listening to him. But what is most surprising, Rohit? That I have done that much of homework, and I saw him, and I realized that it was good that I didn't meet him. Okay? Because heroes never behave like heroes.
Yeah, true.
Okay? So it was really good for me, because I would have looked for heroism in him. And there was none.
And there was none, right.
Okay? And that has set my performance in the film.
Incredible. You tell us, we haven't met him. What is he like? Is he
It's very simple.
Man?
Much more common, I would say. If he enters here, he will always come with mithai ka dabba.
Okay.
And he will not let you eat with his own hand.
Okay.
He will try to feed you. That's the first thing he does.
So
I know he loves to feed so much that some of my director once got really angry with him that why you are insisting on me eating so much. I don't want to eat. So he is that kind of an ordinary person.
Right.
His struggle is not that thing about say nation or the topics or no, not at all.
Okay.
It's a day-to-day struggle.
Okay.
Day-to-day achievement. That is why that is why I keep falling in love with middle-class people.
True.
If you sit in a metro from Churchgate to Virar, you see people celebrating their life.
Yeah, singing,
eating,
sharing.
cutting vegetable, and playing cards. They are actually celebrating their life.
Yeah.
The whole journey is an event for them. So this is what I personally, this is why I admire middle class. So much is happening in one day for them. But they are not getting bogged down by it.
Right, they are the heroes of
They are the heroes of their own stories.
Right. You're lucky to be in a profession where you come across these amazing stories, like this man's story. Does this give you great belief that, these are the people who actually run our country? These are the justice systems thanks to this one man, thanks to people like him. You really are in a profession where you get to come across so many stories. You see that way, your profession?
Oh yes, it's quite an advantage for us. That we get to read so many stories like this. We get to play so many characters, of this genre, but at the same time, in Delhi, when I go to my brother's house or when I used to go to my parents' house, they are no more, but their life was still the same. My parents bought 3-bedroom hall when they shifted from the village temporarily to Delhi. So I was thinking that, okay, I bought this house for them, and now they must be quite easy, happy, and now the house must be quite spick and span. But they turned it into a middle class house.
What they wanted.
A village house. This is the way they were comfortable in. So suddenly you grow. You develop so much of admiration.
Admiration, right. When a subject like this comes to you, how do you know one important thing, that the intention is right? Since it's the story of a god man, it's about religious, it's about beliefs, not religious beliefs. How do you see the intention of the director that it is not being made for some reason to? Because the minute a film like that comes, people will ask, "अरे हमारे धर्म का गुरु क्यों लिया? वो धर्म का क्यों नहीं लिया?"
Right.
This is a question that will be asked. How did you see at the start the intention was?
For me, the film is not about that.
Okay.
You know, for personally for me, the film is about the strength of that little girl.
Little girl.
You know, in all of this, Solanki wouldn't have been able to fight this even for a day without that girl's strength or courage. And that girl didn't even waver for a day, for a minute, for 5 years. Okay, so my whole I was taking all my all my inputs from her strength. Okay, when I was performing, I was not forgetting that if I'm behaving in a certain way, I'm behaving this way only because of that girl. And that girl is standing like a rock. Yeah. And when my character asked him that you'll have to be बहुत ही ऐसे वैसे सवाल पूछे जाएंगे.
Right.
And she just says okay, as a matter of fact.
Right.
So to get that kind of a strength and courage and maturity from that little girl, so immediately it became, for me, it became her story.
Right.
Not Solanki's story.
Not Solanki's story.
Solanki became Solanki only because of that girl.
Right. You think they both gave each other strength to go through this?
Oh, definitely.
Right.
And it is there in the film.
Right.
It is there in the film.
Right. So it should not be, same way as you took it, it should not be misconstrued into any
At all. At all, because it's about truth.
Right.
At the end of the day, it's about truth. It's about judiciary system, how rock solid it is in our country.
Yeah, it is.
Always in these kind of challenging times here, it always rises to the occasion.
Yeah.
And in the end, it really it surprises everyone. I mean, look at the way Supreme Court has been discussing same-sex marriage.
Yeah.
My chest was swelling with pride that this is the kind of judiciary we have. Now it is telecast, it is streamed.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So much transparency.
But there are so many different cases. Everybody will have a different view. Where do you stand? You have full faith in the way our systems are working?
In the judicial system,
you have.
Definitely.
Amazing.
Definitely. I mean, for many years, it has given me many occasions to really be proud of the fact that this country has a very robust judicial system. Yes, every system has its loopholes where it is getting desperate to be reformed. But that's a process.
That's a process. Manoj, every time your trailer comes, I know you from day one since you came here. I feel so proud the way the work that you do makes us very, very happy. So I come here to do these interviews just for that.
Thank you.
And in the process, you entertain our audience as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rohit.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rohit. Yeah, thank you. Hi, I'm Manoj Bajpayee, and you are watching this interview on Bollywood Hungama.